Hey everyone, it's DJ Stutz with Little Hearts Academy USA and Imperfect Heroes. And I am excited about a lot of things, and I'm grateful for even more things. But we're right into the 5 days of service challenge. And so if you missed it, I'm sorry. But you know, if on my TikTok channel, I am actually going on every day and giving you some ideas of service that you can do with your family if you did miss it. And so you can always go there. And then also, starting on Saturday, we're opening up the Cicerone Society. We only do that 3 times a year. And that's your chance. If you just want to do some group instead of one-on-one, group is a lot cheaper actually. And you get a chance to connect with other parents who are involved in the same things, in the same, kid range that you are, and you'll get to make some friends. But we're also going to do some troubleshooting and problem solving. And, what do I do when my kid is talking back to me? What do I do when my kids are fighting each other? And what do I do when, little Johnny wants to jump off the back wall, if you've got a back wall? And we go through all of these things and ideas. And wow, I want to help my child be a better reader. What are some things that I can do for my child? And maybe I want my kid to grow and be a better athlete. And maybe they need some more gross motor skills. We can talk about that too. We can talk about the psychology of sports and what that is for our little kiddos when they're involved. So it's just a lot of fun. And so it's not going to be open though until Saturday. And then on Saturday, you can go to the website, www.littleheartsacademyusa.com, and you'll be able to register. And that's going to close on November 28th. So I hope that you'll be able to check it out, see what's going on there, and join us and have some fun. So let's get going on this week's episode, which is amazing. So I actually have a husband and wife on together, and what good parents they are. They've got 3 boys, and I just loved talking to them. Here, let me get this down maybe a little bit. There we go. And I just love talking to them. So it's Joe and Mellie Hashey, and they were living the life. Mell was a social worker, and Joe was a teacher, and they also owned a gym. And they were doing great, working hard, right? Trying to make things work. They had a beautiful home. They thought it was their dream home. And COVID hit. And what did that do to their gym? And just so many things. And they got talking and decided, we need to not be where we are. We need to be somewhere else. So they wound up moving them and their 3 boys, and they went 2,000 miles across the country to a small, more rural town, and they were very scared. They knew nothing really about the town, other than that's where they felt like God was sending them. They didn't know anybody there, but yet they took their faith, they took their family, and off they went and started a new life in a new area across the country. Well, anyway, Mell is a stay-at-home mom now. They're doing homeschooling, and now they're helping other parents with building relationships with their kids and helping people with homeschooling. And they've got a whole program that is just really amazing if you want to check it out. But that's not really what we talked about on the podcast. We were really talking about how they were able to help their kids assimilate and find joy with all those moves in their lives with gratitude. And so we talked about how gratitude played such a big role in their lives. Well, one of the things that they did is, sorry, I've got a little tickle in my throat. One of the things that they did was they, as a family, decided to write down what were their core values. What were the things that were really important to them just as humans? What makes us good people? And so they decided as a family on what those values were. And then Mel wrote them on a poster, and they put the poster up. And that's really one of the ways that they start their day, is they all say those values together. And so that's part of the start of their day, and that's ingrained in the kids and the parents. You know, we all need those reminders, don't we? And so it helps them to have that in their hearts and in their minds, and that helps them as they go through the day. And then another thing that they did was to help teach their children some emotional intelligence and how they can carry different things toward a person at the same time, different emotions or feelings. I can be mad at you. My goodness. I can be mad at you and love you at the same time. I can be laughing because you're a little inappropriate, but I can still get after you. And so, you know, I can be sad about leaving our home that we had and our friends that we had, but I can be excited about the new adventure that we're going to have, right? I can be frustrated because I'm in this new place and I don't know anybody, right? But I can have fun getting to know new friends and new neighbors. So we can have conflicting emotions and feelings at the same time, and that's normal, and that's okay. And so how does that help us with gratitude? Well, it helps us a lot. When we can find goodness in difficult situations and trust that there are positive and good emotions that are good outcomes from these difficult situations, then you're going to be able to get through them a little better. And in fact, as James said in the New Testament, that, you know, even the hardest times, we can trust that they are going to be for our good. And so I just love that. I was just reading in James this morning, actually. And so another thing is that one of the things that they taught their kids was to appreciate the good things in life, right? By recognizing the blessings that they have, even on days when things just don't go as planned, right? How many times have we had something just, it didn't go right, but then in the end, it turned out to be, that's actually something better than what it went. Maybe we find those blessings right away, but sometimes it's down the road, maybe even a year or two or more, that we look back and we say, oh my gosh, you know, that is great. Actually, I was so frustrated when that happened, but wow, all this good came out of it. Garth Brooks had a song out years ago, in fact, probably a couple decades ago, to be honest. And it was some of God's greatest gifts are his unanswered prayers, right? It's about how he was all crazy about a girl, you know, when he was younger and didn't work out. And he was just totally broken up about it and felt so horrible. But life went on and he wound up marrying a girl, you know. And years later, he came across this original girl that he had been so nuts about and realized, dodged a bullet, right? And that God didn't answer that prayer because he had something so much greater in mind for him. And if we can keep those kinds of things in mind and recognize that we have blessings in our life every day. We have a roof over our head. We have computers and phones. We have stoves that we don't have to put wood and start a fire in, right? In fact, it's interesting that back in the 1700s, you know, the most common cause of death for women was kitchen fires, because there was fire in the ovens and stoves that they were cooking on, and they had these big dresses that they were wearing because they didn't get to wear those nice slim pants that were tighter and closer to their body, and their dresses would catch fire and they would die. And so what a blessing that we have. We push a button or flip, turn a handle, and we have water. We have showers, and we have carpet under our feet in many places, or we've got lovely wood or laminate that we don't have to worry about. We've got so many ways to clean ourselves and our surroundings, that a lot of the ways that people were dying of diseases and stuff don't even happen anymore because we wash our hands more often. We can clean our surfaces more effectively. There are just so many things. And even in our kids, when they're fighting with each other, and we get so frustrated with it, right? But then we see a child who is so sick that there's no way they're ever going to fight with their siblings, right? And so maybe sometimes we just have to step back and say, at least they're healthy enough to fight with each other. What a weird thing to be grateful for, but yet, isn't it something to be grateful for, right? And so really sitting down and looking at all the things that we have to be grateful for. Honestly, pretty much all of us have more clothes than we need, right? There may be a few rare occasions when people don't, but for the most part, we have clothes on our backs. We've got jackets. We've got shoes. We've got, food in our cupboards. And in most cases, in America, we have way too much food, and now we're all obese. So, we've got just so many opportunities. We have pets to love and to help us get out and get exercise with them. There are just so many opportunities that are out there. Even when things seem to be really, really bad, we have it so much better than 90% of the people in the world. And we need to be grateful for that. And we need to teach our children to be grateful for the things that we have. We have so much that we are spoiled, and our children are actually spoiled. And we all have these big expectations, for life and for what we have, that we take so much for granted. And so how do we do that? With finding gratitude and having a game where we go around and say what we're grateful for, and you can't repeat. That's a fun game to do, especially when you're in the car, for a while, and to have a drive and something that you're grateful for. Or pick a kid and say something that you're grateful for about that person that's in the family, and keep going around. And, and if someone can't think of something that they're grateful for their brother and sister, we'll wait. We don't want anyone to feel bad because someone won't say something. That's just harmful. So we're going to teach our kid and be supportive and teach love for one another. And then Joe was jumping in. Joe's a great guy. You can just hear it in his voice. There's peace in his voice. And, and he was just talking about that attitude of gratitude and how it gets us through those difficult situations. And as we encourage our children to have that attitude of gratitude, it's going to help them and their mindset throughout their life if they can keep that going. But that's something, they're not going to learn that in school. That's for us. And I will tell you, okay, retired public school teacher, that's me. And I will tell you that this is my view of education. Schools are not the end all for education, right? And parents are not the support of the schools. It's the other way around. Schools are there to support parents, as parents are our children's first and most important teachers as throughout their lives, right? We're the ones who are going to teach them those social skills and about, manners, and about how to talk to someone, how to look at someone in the eye, about how to tell the truth, about, how to fix a faucet, for heaven's sakes, and how to replace a button on their clothes. All of those skills that are life changing, actually. You don't throw out a shirt because a button came off. And, as things are becoming more expensive and it's going to, we're seeing things getting to be harder and harder. We want to be able to make sure our kids can manage and accomplish things on their own so they don't have to spend that money that is going to become more precious and harder to come by. They can fix things themselves and take care of their families, right? So anyway, it's a great episode. I love it. I love having the couple together, coming together, and you can just see how they work together. They talk with each other, and what a great example on how to parent and how to understand that team and collaborative parenting. It's just a great example. So I hope you'll listen in. So let me see, what episode? It's 125. Yes, it's 125, and it's the peaceful perspectives, the power of gratitude in stressful times. So there we are, and we are just moving along. We're coming up closer to Thanksgiving, and so I hope you'll stick with us. And remember, on next week and for 10 days, so from Saturday for the next 10 days through the 28th, you'll have a chance to just join in with a group, and we will be talking about all of these amazing issues and helping you to learn and to grow and to share and to make those connections with your kids and strengthen your families. So until next week, let's find joy in parenting. See you later, guys. Bye.